Hey folks, today we are going over the pros and cons of living in the community of San Pedro, California. If you're not familiar with San Pedro, it's a part of Los Angeles. It's a community in Los Angeles. It's on the southern end of Los Angeles. We're actually sit right next to the Pacific Ocean, as you could probably see behind me. And yeah, so we're gonna go over all the good things, all not so good things about living in this community. So hang tight, let's go. Hey folks, my name is Phillip Nunez. I'm a real estate agent here in the beautiful community of San Pedro. If this is your first time on our channel and you want to know everything about living, eating, having fun, places to go, places not to go, the pros and cons of living in San Pedro, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you can be notified every time we put out a new video. We've been helping families move into this community for a very long time and we absolutely love it. If you're thinking of moving into San Pedro or any of the surrounding areas, make sure to get a hold of us via email, text, phone call, get on my social media. If you're thinking of making a move, we have your back. We'll make it stress-free and we look forward to helping you. Now, the reason why I'm choosing this location for this video is to highlight one of the best pros of living in San Pedro. It's the weather, the views, and the ocean. Regardless of where you are in this community, you're 5 to 10 minutes away from the ocean. And if you're looking for a place to hike near the ocean, well, you have this private setting, just so you can get an idea what that looks like. Or if you want to go to the beach, we have Cabrillo Beach. Or if you just want to go to a park and have the views of the ocean in Catalina, you can go to Point Fermin or Angels Gate Park. And there's a few others, but you get the point. One of the pros of living next to the ocean is the weather. We're always about 10 to 20 degrees cooler than any other community in Los Angeles. And that comes in super handy and friendly in the summertime, because it can get hot out here. Sometimes we reach 90, 100 degrees. So we're always going to be about, I think that the hottest it will get here is probably mid 90s, which is great compared to everywhere else that hits the hundreds. So that's a big plus for this community. Now, one of the cons of living in San Pedro, because we are part of Los Angeles, one of the biggest cities in the world, we do have something that you will see all around Los Angeles, and it's been permeating over the last decade and a half, or 2 decades, I guess, is homelessness. We do see some parts of San Pedro, very small parts of San Pedro, but nonetheless, you do see it. However, because we are having a lot more investment and development here in the city, slowly but surely, a lot of it has been removed and it's been cleaned up, but nonetheless, you do still see some locations where you will see it, and it's unfortunate, but it's part of living in a big city. This leads to the next pro of living in San Pedro, and it's something you just can't do without, is seeing all the new development that's being built in the community. Regardless of where you drive, you'll see new buildings and housing being developed. Plus, we have over $100 million being invested into the harbor. It's a new development. If you haven't heard about it, it's all over the news. In fact, I'll put a link on the description for this video, and it's called the West Harbor, and it'll be very similar to what they did with Fisherman's Wharf, obviously a lot newer. It's going to include outdoor theater, it's going to include new restaurants, shops, and a ton of other things that they got scheduled, and we're all really excited. Everybody that lives here is excited about that, and it's already started. In fact, they've already built some of the infrastructure, and I'll make a video about that in the near future. But yeah, that's something that as a community we're all excited about, and you can see that it's coming soon. It's gonna look great, and we're all happy about it. One of the cons of living in San Pedro that I'm not particularly fond of is the getting into the town and getting out of the town. There's only a few exits and a few ways to get into the town. So a lot of times when you're going somewhere, you have to give yourself an additional 10 to 15 minutes lead time to just get out of the community, because it does get congested. We're at the tail end of the 110 freeway. That's one way to get into the freeways around here. or there's Gaffey Street, which tends to get really congested to try to get out the city. Some people consider this a pro, but personally I don't really like having to wait in traffic, but it's part of living in Los Angeles, I guess. So one of the pros about living in San Pedro that you probably won't really get a sense of unless you live here is the small town feel, the pride and community that they take. And it has a lot to do with I think there you go, you get that kind of stuff. It has a lot to do with the geographical area, right? We're at the tail end of Los Angeles. We're kind of left alone all the way here next to the ocean. And I also think it has a lot to do with the rich history of the community. It was a fisherman's town because we do have one of the biggest ports in all of the United States. It's a hard-working town anchored by longshoremen community, the fishermen community, and you could sense just a pride in community as you go throughout the town. Everyone seems to know everyone, or at least you're one person away from knowing someone, which is something you don't get in most of other communities here in Los Angeles. So it's very unique to San Pedro, and certainly what I would consider a pro of living in this community. A couple of the cons that I feel that San Pedro does have, one has to do with dining. There's not too many great locations. Yes, there's a few, but if you want to go to any dining, you probably have to go to other nearby towns like Torrance, or near the beaches, Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach, or even to downtown Los Angeles, or just other surrounding areas. The great thing is that those locations are literally 15-20 minutes away. But don't get me wrong, there are some restaurants in the town, and I'm sure as the new development starts to evolve, we're probably going to get a lot more restaurants here. But that certainly is one of the things that I've noticed about living in this community. The second thing has to do with for us that are parents, when it comes to schools, we're part of LAUSD. Some people like that, some people don't. That's really up to you. But we only have 2 private schools. One is Mary Star, and I believe they do go up to high school. And then there's Holy Trinity, which only offers elementary and middle school. So if you want additional schools, you probably have to go closer to Torrance, which is a nearby city. It's only 15-20 minutes away. But I think those are 2 things that the city could do better with. But either way, don't get me wrong, as far as the schools, they're still great schools. It's just if you want more options, you'd probably go a little further out than where we are here. And guys, last but not least, one of the things that I've considered to be a huge pro has to do with the neighborhoods. We have some of the best neighborhoods in all of Los Angeles. I mean, you have beautiful homes, great views, and the people are amazing. So I think it just sets the tone for how the community is. So I think that's a huge plus. In fact, I did a video just recently where I highlighted the top 5 areas to live in San Pedro. I'll highlight that in this video, but yeah, that's a huge pro. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video going over some of the pros and cons of living in this beautiful community of San Pedro. If this is your first time on our channel and you want to know everything about living, eating, places to go, places not to go, the pros and cons of living in San Pedro, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell so you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. If you're thinking of making a move into the community or any of the surrounding areas, make sure to get a hold of us. We love helping folks move into this community. So send me an email, text me, call me. We'll make sure we make the move as stress-free as possible. For now, check out this next video.